Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gad, your host. Right now, what we're looking at is these two people had requested the 2018 forecast. So this is where we're at now, the new moon. In just less than 3 days at 11:02 a.m. That's the one you see in the middle. Of course, they'll get the original copy of that chart. And there's two charts, one to the left, one to the right. And they already got their copies of it. That's their natal charts. So what we're going to do is show how this new moon in Scorpio is going to affect them. Now, the main thing I'm interested in automatically is the 15. And then you got the 5 with the medium coeli. So give me a moment, because it's 15 degrees. We'll take a look at that as well. Give me a moment to get a few things up. Right now, the sun in Scorpio is revealing things that are hidden. So there's a good time to not be afraid to look at yourself. Remember, Scorpio rules the 8th house. The 8th house is a lot like the 12th house, except in the 12th house, the universe wants you to reckon with it. No matter what it is, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done, they want you to kind of man up or woman up and kind of look at it. Nobody really wants to look at that dark, deep secrets. But you can't heal and you can't become what the universe is trying to make you become if you don't. And that's why you have karma and the wheel goes round and round. And if you didn't do it the first time, you can do it in this life and yada, yada, yada. So once you start to learn this information, the wisest thing you can do is kind of like deal with it to a certain degree, to the best you can. So we will be talking about that a little bit more. Just give me a moment. I'm bouncing. This will be a busy Sunday morning. 8:49 a.m. November 4th, 2018. A lot of information, a lot of revelations are coming out. If you keep up with my channels, you'll know that. With the new moon, it's usually some type of ending, some type of beginning, some type of closure, some type of revelation. And some of the stuff you start doing a new moon, it becomes even more revealed or more potent during a full moon. Oh, $24.99 dinner for two. Woo! Ha ha. Got to take a little commercial break, because old Gary Gad's a little hungry. Dinner for two for $24.99. This used to be my spot, though. I used to hang out here all the time. This is up the hill in my township. You can see everything on that hill. You see the blood moon on that hill. Venus is always hanging out over there. It's very romantic. So take your soulmate there, but she might get mad when I pull out the coupon. This is no lie. I'm sorry to start this video this way, but it's apropos. I was hanging out at this bar one time, this thug bar. Now, this is how it gets crazy, though. Now, the woman that was in that bar, she was like a thug grandmother. If you live a thug life, you know what I'm talking about. So every time you came in the bar, you had to pay homage to her. And that was a gangster bar. Thug bar, gangster bar. And I was always in there by myself and stuff. So she always seen me come in, but almost every time I came in, I was by myself. But don't get it all wrong. Don't think I was just sitting there lonely. I got it popping. Took that jukebox over, just doing what I do. So what it was, this is everything I'm telling you is a true story. And the reason why I do what I do, we talk about Scorpio. This is all past life, present life, death, and rebirth. That's why when I'm in the spirit, I'm in the spirit, and I've learned to do that. And people get offended. Oh, just talk about. No, I'm not just. I'm gonna talk about what the spirit tells me to talk about. Because if you were listening, it may be some advice in there for you. So anyway, she had a daughter, and we just doing what people do when they be in the bar. And so I knew all of them, but whenever any gangster came in that bar, they'd all go up to her and give her the thug kiss, or the gangster kiss. They'd walk up to her where she was sitting. When I walked in the bar, she would get up and come to me and kiss me. And that's real. And then this is what happened when she died. When she died, I didn't know she was there because I had stopped going to the bar. So she was always in the bar talking crazy and getting loud and shit. But she was funny though. And I loved to laugh. So we was always in there goofing off and laughing and shit. But one day, like, I didn't know she had died because I wasn't at the bar. But I was in the kitchen and I heard a woman laugh. And there wasn't nobody in there. I was in the house by myself. But I heard a woman laugh. And somehow I looked down at the newspaper. And the newspaper was her obituary. This is no lie. So now let me tell you how deep this goes. This is why I'm trying to tell you this. So then one time I was in that bar again. And her daughter was kind of drunk. But her daughter usually be hanging out with the guys and all that. And me and her daughter was never that cool. I would be with the mother, just sitting there talking to her. But the daughter would just be sitting. She never talked to me. For some reason, she sat down with me at that bar and shit. And was just sitting at the table with me and shit. And then I was getting bored. So I said, yo, I'm going to go to the restaurant that I'm talking about right now. This is why everything happens for a reason. So she said she wanted to come and shit. So me and her left. And she said, take her to, right next to the restaurant is a Walmart. So she said, take her there. I took her there and shit. And then we went to the bar and we went, and I was trying to feed her because me and her mother was cool and shit. So I was trying to feed her and me. So at the end of the meal, I went to pull out a coupon. She like, nah. She like, you don't take no female on a date with no coupons and stuff. And then she paid for everything with her credit card. But that was crazy. Because like I said, I didn't know her like that. I knew her mother. And I don't know if she remember. I don't even know if she remembered me being with her mother. Because most time at the bar, people would be drunk. So that was a weird event and shit. But I kind of tried to tell her, you know, your mom's. I heard a laugh when I looked at the obituary and shit. Like she was trying to tell me that everything's okay. So I was trying to tell her that. Her mom's name was Jessie. So that's what's up. So that's what we going with this Scorpio new moon. But they said you gotta enjoy the office Sunday, November 4th. And my print ain't working. Maybe I could do something. Alright, let me see what we can eat. So I'm gonna take one of you females out on my coupon. You can eat endless garden bars, and their garden bars is banging. This used to be my spot, boy. And the waitresses in there was all nice. I used to love that place. Be talking to the females up in there. The waitresses was easy to talk to. I used to be in this mug heavy. Choose 2 entries. Say, how did you learn about the bar? From the late grade CMAC. That's how I learned from the bar. And we said at the bar, it's a restaurant with a bar, but we always said at the bar. Even when I used to go and drink, I would still sit at the bar out of respect. Memory of CMAC and stuff. Number 2, choose 2 entries. 6-ounce top sirloin, blackened tilapia, half rack of ribs or chicken fresco, single portion. Well, what if I want a double portion? Then share our peach Melba tart, key lime cake or chocolate fall cake for $24.99 for 2 people. I'm getting so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, come on, everybody, be happy sometimes. Stop being sad. Oh, the moon is going to be with Venus. Yeah, because they're all in Scorpio. I saw the moon this morning. I didn't see Venus, though. I already talked about some strange stuff happened, too. But I already talked about that on my other channel. I think that's loading now. So, waning moon and Venus. I wonder why I didn't see Venus this morning. Because I miss my baby. That's my sister. How come I didn't see the moon with Venus this morning? I was out there. I definitely saw the crescent moon. Give me one moment. I'm just trying to get this together. I don't know why my computer's acting up. Is it a Mercury retrograde, anybody? I got the chart right there. I will look at it momentarily. I guess she probably was listening, but she never used to talk to me when I said with her mother. But I guess she used to watch, because me and her mother, we used to buy each other drinks and shit. So she probably was looking and shit, but she never talked. So the motto to that story I just told y'all was never know who's watching you. So Venus just entered the night sky in October 26, 2018. All right, everybody. We're about to get it going. All right. Numerology. You see a lot of 11s on this chart. Talking about the transit chart, the space chart in the middle. See a lot of 11s, 5s, 15s. Fifteen is a big number in the Bible as well. William Tapley of Third Eagle Book says 15 is a number of Mother Mary. This is BillHydrick.com. 15. Sprout or an ear, such as an ear of grain. But remember, you have Spica that deals with harvesting in Virgo. To love excessively. Woo! With the moon in Scorpio, love excessively. Woo! Pronoun brother. A turn or fate, calamity, ruin, faithless. But maybe that's why they saw a calamity, because they were faithless. Maybe if they had faith, they would avoid calamity. Remember, calamity sounds a lot like karma. Calamity. So we want to make sure we're not doing any bad karma. It's all about energy. That's why with the Sagittarius, Jupiter and Sagittarius, they're telling everybody to think positively, talk positively. Because that's what's going to happen, what you're speaking. "15 can be exalted, highness, majesty, pride, excellency. Because, again, if 555, which is 15, is Mother Mary, that's exactly what you would be dealing with. Collector. I'll tell you like they tell me, pay your bills. Because remember, this is Scorpio, and it's all about that debt collection. I think they scheming on me right now. And I have been paying. They just don't like the way I've been paying. I mean, I've been paying weekly. They just don't like the amount. So now they're trying to start it up again. I already went to war with them one time already. To be sick, to menstruate, to be sad, languish, to spin, clothes, sickly, weakly, menstruous, a menstruous cough. Push away, rinse, clean. So we want to make sure we're taking care of our health. 15 can be India. To sound forth, sing, to make famous. I just heard Kanye singing that at the train station. I turned on 88.9, the college station. They was playing like the good old days on Friday or something. Well, that was really Saturday, but Friday, maybe even Saturday, you could turn on the radio station and hear them playing the type of music you hear when you go out to the parties and stuff. So they were playing Kanye. I made your bitch ass famous. 15 could be to praise, to shine, to bloom, utterance, sound, renown, splendor. Had, the 8th Sapphira. And Sapphira looks like seraphim, angel. So feminine in traditional Kabbalah, Had, corresponds to the left leg of Adam, Quadman. Signing, lamentation. Signing, lamentation. Rare spell of the word, rare spelling of the letter H-E-H. To flow. Projection, to hide, breathe, to speak. To cut up, to plow, a plowed field. So they are dealing a little bit with harvesting, which means they're dealing with Virgo and Spica. To utter, to confess, to praise. A short form of the name of God, which is he or she is, he, she creates, God. Then they do it again, pronoun he is or she is, Yah, Y-A-H, the divine name associated with the second Sephirah, Chakma. So we're dealing with something godly coming your way. Now we want to do Riding the Beast, number 15. Perfect 3-dimension expression. But that's interesting. He said perfect 3-dimension expression, 3 by 5, like a photograph. But we got to remember, That's interesting. Because fifth dimension, you got third dimension and you got fifth dimension. Some people say 7 is the Old Testament, the number of the seventh, and 8th is the New Testament, the number of resurrection, which gives you 15. 15 is the spiritual ascension seal. Now, some say it's the number of Satan, who is developing only in human such a virus. He imposes subtly his will, causing blind passion, ephemera pleasure, and degrading. Hezekiah was given 15 more years after suffering a mortal sickness. So remember, because when you are dealing with Scorpio, you can be dealing with health. And people will tell you quick, be very careful of your health. Well, Scorpio is also a great healer. So they say there's 15 fruits of the flesh. If you want to know what they are, you can look up Apostle Paul. Just say 15 fruits of the flesh, see what comes up. Or you can put Apostle Paul, 15 fruits of the flesh. The 15 mysteries, the 15 tens of prayers recited in the Rosary of the Virgin Mary. So there you go. Maybe Paul William Tapley's correct. He says the number 555 or 15 corresponds with the Mother Mary. That's her number. The Assumption of the Blessed Mother Mary is celebrated on August 15th. Many people believe she was a teenager. They're saying she is 15. I've heard some say 16. I've heard some say younger. Uh, Mary Jane Evans said Virgin Mary had 15 great pains during her life on earth. Mary Agreda, and this is a different Mary. The other one was Mary Jane Even. Now this is Mary Agreda. She said that Jesus' cross had a length of 15 feet. They say it took Jesus 15 days to teach the 8 Beatitudes. according to the vision of Anne Catherine Emmerich. And she said that they delegated 15 Pharisees to spy on Jesus. 15 degrees to reach the temple, according to the vision of Mary Agreda. So Mary got to the temple of the Lord, and she climbed it by running the 15 degrees, or she ran all of it, running the 15 degrees without looking behind. And she did not request any assistance from her parents. Usually that's what children do. The Hebrews climbed by singing the 15 Psalms. The 15 steps was led to the Temple of Solomon, as the 15 virtues led to the sky. So it's obviously these people are going to have some type of spiritual connection at this time with this new moon that's coming on November 7th. The 15 secret pains of the Christ. "15 days after the death of a pope, there is a meeting of the college cardinals called the conclave, having the responsibility to select the unanimity of a new pope. Once selected, the new pope chooses a name, receives the homage of the cardinals, and addresses his blessings to Rome and to the universe." Give me one moment. This time of year, the birds start trying to come in the window, so I tell them to get out of here. They'll ask, though. They'll come to the window sometimes if you'll hear them chirping. And they're asking you, can they come into the window? And I say, no. Beat it. Go to the forest where you belong. Get back to the jungle, you Negroes. Okay, listen. Let's keep it moving. Now, the Uranus planet counts 15 satellites. It's funny how Uranus jumped out of here. 'Cause right now, it's all about Uranus. If you look on the chart, that's what I'm noticing really is Uranus. The number 15 is used 40 times in the Bible, 42 times. Why is 42 important? Because that's allegedly the amount of months that they're going to bring this great trial on earth. 42 months, 3.5 years. The number 24,000 is used in the Bible 15 times. So again, I was just studying that in the book of Job, because this is when God, I call it the scourge. In the book of Job, they called it the scourge, but when you do research, they're kind of talking about when God killed like 24,000 people in one day. So once again, see, what you have to understand is that great tribulation that's supposed to come is really brought by Mother Mary. That's the whole birth pain of the labor, the woman in labor, and all that stuff Jesus is talking about, the woman in travail. And see, this is where you got to really understand astrology, because when you get to the word travail, like travel, that's kind of like, you're dealing with Sagittarius and stuff like that. The word passion is used 15 times in the New World Testament. Satan is used 15 times in the Old Testament. The name of Baptist is used 15 times in the Bible. All right. Numerology calculator.
Your name.
All right. Mystical numbers. Oh, we really want number 15. All right. Give me a moment. Okay, we had it. Number 15 is the number of the magic square. So the magic square has been used in magic and as a talisman in many cultures. In Asia, the magic square is called Mushu and is used to this day as a tool in Feng Shui. Because we've been hearing a lot about Feng Shui. According to legend, it originated around 22,005 BCE when the emperor discovered the magic squares on the back of a turtle. Number 15 is a triangular number. Phosphorus has the atomic number 15. A crystal anniversary celebrates 15 years. May 15 is the International Day of Families. February 15th is Susan B. Anthony's Day, celebrated in the U.S. Susan B. Anthony worked all her life for the rights of women. And I think she had something to do with the American flag as well. Susan B. Anthony, dollar value coin, quotes, dollar, biography, house, list, speech, images. But I don't see anything about a flag. F. Yep, Susan B. Anthony flag. I just put F. So like I said, you would have to do a little bit of research to find out if she did. And ironically, her name is associated with the name Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Because that word Elizabeth keeps popping up. That name. She also worked for the Anti-Slavery Society. And the tarot card 15 is the number of the devil card. So what I'm getting from it basically is it's a spiritual thing. Around this time you might be given two options. Because I gotta be honest, I gotta be honest. See, let's just say you're a female and for a while now, you just got your money. Why work a job if you can get some guy to pay you? For whatever reasons. But then somehow the universe starts talking to you. And maybe they're saying, oh, don't do that. Do it this way. And so you're being tossed around. Because there's many different ways the divine feminine shows herself. Sometimes she's a priestess. Sometimes she's a whore. Sometimes she's a sexual priestess. Sometimes she's a little girl. Sometimes she's just a woman. Sometimes she's the crone, the older woman. These are all the ways and many other ways that this feminine energy shows himself. If she's 555 Mother Mary, she's also 666 Isis, or the dark goddess. When a girl turns 15 years old, they have a dance called Quinceañera, something like that. One who is 15, Quinceañera. And to them, that's when a woman enters womanhood at age 15. Spoken by a true pervert. I don't know. I'm just saying. But who am I to judge tradition? Of perverts. Okay. Now, so they dress the girl up like a princess. She gives away 15 candles. And she gives one candle to each person has an impact on her life. This celebration is observed in Central America and South America. But it is an important day in many countries like He's saying Mexico, because somebody will say Mexico is not Central America or South America. I didn't say it. He's saying Mexico, Cuba, Ecuador, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, and Peru. 15, President James Buchanan. They claim he was the only president that was not married. Wonder why. But it said Buchanan was an active Freemason. The others were secret Freemasons, but they were all Freemasons. But they'll tell you that they weren't, and if they weren't, they had some type of connection or agreement with somebody, because they're not going to let you take that office without being down with their society. It ain't happening. So they say he didn't help stop the breakup between the North and the South. Abraham Lincoln died February 15th, 1865. He was the 16th president of the United States. Lincoln was shot the day before the Ford Theater. So Lincoln was shot the day before the Ford Theater. Washington, D.C., Kentucky became the 15th state in 1792. This is why all this is planned out by somebody. Because remember, Ford is a big name with these people. So never let them fool you. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had Master Farad or Master Ford, because even though these people act like it's a difference, it's not. Once they take that oath to join them societies, for the most part, they are working together. It might not look that way. To prove my point, the very next thing this thing is talking about, I'm at mysticalnumbers.com. We're studying the number 15, and they went right to Magna Carta. Now, when you think of Magna Carta, this is history. It has to do with the so-called melanated people, or the people of the Moors. Jay-Z called himself Carter. This is why he got the name Sean Carter from, just Magna Carta. And then even now, when they go, I'm going to make America great again, they're talking about Magna Carta, just so you know. The king sealed the Magna Carta involuntarily. So it was barons that drove it up, and they kind of forced the king to go with it. Now listen, there goes Elizabeth. Remember, I keep telling you, they keep showing me this Elizabeth. Elizabeth I was crowned Queen of England, January 15th. So what they're trying to tell you is this 15 has a lot to do with the oppression of the melanated people. And then it said in Westmire Abbey, London. Now remember the Beatles, Abbey Lane. See, all this is tied together. Now on my new channel, not my new channel, on my other channel, I'm showing you a new video. That's what I meant to say. I got a new video where I'm talking about all this. So that's why I say what I'm going over. It's just the way it is what's in the universe. Uh-oh, once again, Julius Caesar murdered again. I was just talking about that on my channel. Julius Caesar was murdered on March 15th. He was stabbed to death in the Roman Senate. So this might be some type of political upheaval might occur around this time. A political upheaval might occur around this time. I said it twice in case somebody wasn't listening the first time. 44 BC, Barack Obama being the 44th president. So maybe it probably was the number 44. I might have been saying 54. But let me just see how old was Julius Caesar when he was murdered or assassinated. -100 minus 44 is like 56, right? Yeah. So I know it's something like that. All right. Mata Hari was executed October 15th, 1917 in France. She had been found guilty of espionage in favor of Germany during World War I. She was an exotic Dutch dancer. They say they didn't bind her or blindfold her when they shot her down, and she remained calm during the firing squad. That's somebody else I'll probably have to end up studying. So you see a lot of feminine power with this Scorpio, but you see like a connection between the, say, virgin or the woman and the sexual woman or the whore or the prostitute. The Jacobites, whoever they are, the Jacobites arose in the 15th. So what you would have to do is go back to the early who the Jacobites were, because we're under a bunch of races that changed people of color into white people. But if you go back in history, these were not white people. But I don't know what I'll be honest. I don't know what the Jacobite was. But when I think of Jacobites, is that like saying Hebrew? Is that like saying Israel? You know, you would have to look at that. But they rebelled in 1715, and I always tell y'all how important the number 1715 is around me. See it all the time. Now he says the Jacobites were English and Scottish supporters of the Stuarts. The last Stuart king was King James, known as King James II in England and Ireland, and as King James VII in Scotland. He was the last Catholic king. But is this the King James that wrote the Bible? I mean, it gave us this Bible. Interesting. So that's why you want to study your history. And he was working with the Jacobites. So that would tell you. Now, if you believe, say, the teachings of Louis J. Armstrong, he tells you that King James was particularly trying to help the Hebrews that had become slaves in this country. And that's why this Bible, the King James Bible, was sent here. Now, if you believe that, because some of that I know is a fact about the Bible because I studied it myself, but that would be your connection. I'm trying to tell you that this number 15 is connected to the liberation of these people. See, we're entering the end of the 400-year prophecy that God gave Abraham in Genesis chapter 15, ironically. Genesis chapter 15. So what am I supposed to do? Lie to you guys so I can get your money, or tell you the truth? So I got to tell you the truth, because if what I'm saying is true, it's about to change. Their time is up. And if you're aware of that, you can move your thinking. Because like if you were in Sodom and Gomorrah and you're being told over and over ago they're coming to destroy it, you have time to get your shit together. Also, if you're in the land of Canaan, when they're coming to tear down that wall of Jericho, you could be like this woman, because remember, she is allegedly a prostitute. But even though she is a prostitute, Rahab, she actually helped these spiritual people. And because she helped these spiritual people, her life and her family was saved. That's why I'm saying you got to really know what this is about. Now, really quick, we're going to go to the angel number 15. But we're going to go very quickly because we've been out here way too long. And we're still in the first house. But sometimes you got to be out here long, because that's how that's where spirit takes you. Number 1 relates to new beginnings, activity, assertiveness, tenacity, achievement, and success. Number 5 resonates with the attributes of making the different, making life choices, important changes, adaptability and versatility, resourcefulness, motivation, idealism. Number 15 tells of independence, sensitivity, creativity, teaching others, the energy of love. So that's good, the energy of love. So the angels are telling you that your idea and thoughts are telling you to helping you make better choices. Again, with Jupiter and Scorpio right now, with Jupiter and Sagittarius right now, they're telling everyone to keep your thoughts positive because they're going to manifest. Keep your intentions positive because they're going to manifest right now in this time frame. This is the time that you can rid yourself of old restraints and constraints and will be making room for the new to enter your life because we're in this new moon. Angel number 15 is a message from the spirit world to keep your thoughts and actions focused upon your goals and aspirations in order to manifest your highest ideals. Use positive affirmation and visualization in order to keep your outlook bright and receptive. Use your initiative and personal tenacity when making choices that concern your own well-being and life path, as you know your true heart's desire. As only you know your true heart's desire. All right, so there you have it. All right. Already 1 hour. 52 minutes already. All right. So I just told you 5 can be changed. You get ready for change. And 15 told you how to handle it. Remember to go to the number 6, which is the divine darkness or Venus. And Venus is right there in Libra. So you can't get past this. So now, the moon will represent the secretive aspect of life. Double life, the whore. The sun is the giving you the opportunity to make a choice. Or either way, he's going to bring it out. Even if you don't make the choice, he's going to have to make you deal with it. Now, let's make sure we have our houses correct. Even 19. Wow, look at all those 19s. Woo! Oh, man. See, both of these, I've been doing their charts over and over again. So I don't have to keep going to their charts and explaining the charts because I've done them over and over again. What we got to really focus on is this chart in the middle. Because this is the chart that's going to dictate everything else. It's almost like the universe is saying, okay, you know, we've been in class long enough. Now what are you going to do about it? And if you notice, one ascendant is 3. The next ascendant is 11. And then that ascendant is 13. So that's a 1, 3, 13. So that's kind of funny how that worked out. The number 11 can just be like, it's a master teacher number. We'll look at that really quick, but that one is not as intense. But we are going to have to look at the number 19. All right. So now we're going to recap. The number 15 in that location is choices, basically. Whatever course you're on, you now have a choice to get off or change it. It's not saying everything's going to be easy, but you're still given a choice by the universe. But now if you stay on the course, then you're going to be kind of like locked into it for a while. And that's why they're talking about the whole. See, they call them Jacobites. What these people do? They change words and stuff so you can't make the connection. But Jacobites is Jacob, the real Israel, which is the Hebrews, and these are the melanated people that really owned the land before they came over here and overthrew everybody. Now, what Kanye West said was true. Basically said, well, you've been in slavery for so long, seems like you like it, and everybody's mad. But the bottom line is, in the Caribbeans, they got out of slavery like that. Soon as the Europeans said, we putting you people in slaves, they let them know, we'll fight to the death. And they freed those people immediately. So, in the scriptures, that's what it says. When you're given the opportunity to leave servitude or slavery, you leave. And that's what I think it was in the 15th of every year or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. The Jubilee or something. The 15th of every year, you could leave if you wanted to. But once you go, nah, I'm good, then you got bound. And that's why they're showing you the devil card. That's a choice. And anybody that knows the devil card says he's right. The devil card is a choice. The universe will give you a choice to leave if you're in a situation. But if you choose to stay in it, then you're going to get everything that comes with it. And so that's what you're looking at right now in Scorpio. Remember, Scorpio is in Revelation chapter 8. That's the bottomless pit, where people are bound, but then they get loosed. See, that's all slavery. It's talking about slavery. If you knew the scriptures, it's talking about slavery. And see, the scriptures, it's all one. Any form of spirituality, from astrology to the occult, it's all one. It's just that in third dimensional, people break it up. Oh, I'm a Catholic, or I'm a Buddhist, or I'm a Baptist, I'm a Protestant. But if you go higher than third dimensional, it's all one spirit. That's why if you notice, most of them are talking about some type of woman running everything. Almost everywhere you go, it's some type of woman running everything. So once you understand that, and understand the Holy Scriptures and stuff like that, you understand what's going on. And Scorpio will always be her womb. In fact, if you go to myastrologybook.com, they'll tell you that Pluto is the planet of the black people, or the melanated people. And that is Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So right now, at this particular time, the universe is giving people a chance. If you went out of that situation, the universe is going to help you get out. But if you stay in it, then you're in it. And as you see, Jupiter's right there at 29 degrees. And that's the critical degree, because Jupiter's about to go into Scorpio. And I will be back at some point to do the Jupiter and Scorpio reading, because some people are ordering that. Now, if you haven't heard about that, right on my 2 channels is the ad that explains it. But you want to know about Jupiter and Scorpio, Jupiter and Sagittarius as well. Because that's also about opportunity, but you had to be thinking positive. Everybody got to realize you had to be thinking positive. And I always tell you the truth, so it's not going to be easy. Even if you say, let's just say you are that person that's bound. Maybe you say, you know, I'm sick of being this way. I don't want somebody to view me as somebody they can buy and sell. All right, I want out. But now you got to begin to be out, but you got to make positive affirmations. I will do this. I will do that. This is going to happen in my life. And you got to stay with it, because you're going to be tested. That's why I just did a video with Peter walking on the water. See, he said, I will not be afraid of the storm. I will walk out like Messiah. I will walk out. And he did it. But as soon as the wind started blowing harder, he got tested and he became afraid and began to sink. You have to make that determination and stay with it. And the universe will be helping you. And that's why I said, that's why I have the other channel that helps people get on that path, that want to be on that path. So that's what you see going on. The people of color, the real Hebrews, are being offered freedom at this time. I told you. Now remember, when I told you guys 11 months ago, I said 11 months to liberation, I basically said. And now in the 11th month, they're being offered it. And even 11:02 a.m. is the time of this new moon. And that's 11:11. 2 11s is 11:11. Gives you 4. 4 is the number of angels. An angel is the number of these Hebrews, melanated people that are here on earth in human bodies. That's why even Jupiter is the number 4. See, I can't make this up. And the moon represents the mother, and the sun represents the father, or the creator, male creator of the physical world, which you can also call the atom, or the nucleus of the physical world. But it came out of the mother's womb. So that's your first twin flame. which is why you're seeing a lot of 11s and like 1111 and all that. So that's what's going on. So now, your birth sign for the chart all the way on the right, again, birth sign, Scorpio. And that moon is just into Sagittarius at 0 degrees. So both these houses, Scorpio and Sagittarius, is greatly going to affect this person, especially on the right. But it's up to them to really make that choice. And this one on the left is the same thing, basically, because you got Uranus retrograde. Uranus is going to bring change, and so is Pluto retrograde. Pluto retrograde is not going to let you stay in a certain state. You're going to be tested, and Pluto will take stuff away, and you have to be careful. Let's just say you make the wrong decision. I'm not going to say which one it is because it's not my life. But let's just say you've been given that offer from the universe that I just said, and you make the wrong decision. Well, Pluto's going to really do something about that. If the universe wants you to see a little bit more clearly, he's going to shake it up so that you can't make that decision. It won't be available because Pluto will take it away from you. Or Pluto will be that person that says, okay, we gave you the opportunity to leave that type of lifestyle. You didn't want to leave. Bam! Now you can't leave. So this is very serious time right now. Very serious. It's all about law, relationships, open enemies, partnerships. Scorpio. Anything secretive, anything about death, birth, and resurrection. It could be about money, taxes, debt, money you owe. It could be shared resources with people. Could be a business or karma. Anything with sex or sexuality. And once again, 2-9 is also 11. Now, takes you into Capricorn, the ascendant. Now, to do number 11, I just want to go to Numerology.com. Because remember, anything with Capricorn will be, some type of teacher or something like that. Let me look at something. Yeah, I want to get the count again. So the AC does not make the first house on the chart in the middle, because EP is at 1 degree. It just left AC, but it still makes this the first house where Aquarius is. So that makes the 10th house for medium coeli. So it is looking at career, but don't just think it's just career, because if you go to her house in the right, it's also relationship. And sometimes, like I said, it's somebody you have a relationship with, a career or partnership. And remember, even when you're doing other stuff like health insurance, and if you might be at your company and you have stock, which makes you like a type of partnership. You gotta remember that stuff. But this can be about finances. So that is in the 10th house on the transit chart. So it will be a shakeup in those Libra or 7th house matters. But also in relationships and everything else I said. And remember, if you're talking about the melanated people, then Libra represents Mayat, Isis. And if Mayat frees these Hebrews, then Mayat also has to do justice and take out her captives. And that's why you see the sun. Because according to scripture, the enemies of the Hebrews are going to burn by the sun. And now because Jupiter is there with Scorpio, can also be a great time for income. But you got to remember, whatever choice you make, the universe is going to revolve around that choice. So you want to make a choice that's beneficial for you and not one that's not. Because if you choose servitude, even sitting around and blaming like men or waiting on men or all that foolishness. And if you're a man and you're waiting on a female, that's all foolishness. So you're allowing yourself to stay in servitude. So you have to man up. In my case, I think more and more about it and say, you know, it's a lot of complications there. And plus, I'm like a totally different person, you know. And you got to understand what type of relationship you can have. Do you really want that type of relationship? And if you really don't, because sometimes you say, oh, I could put up with it, no problem. But once you start feelings getting involved and stuff like that, now you can't put up with it. But you thought you could because the heart is treacherous and the heart will start lying. So what they're telling you is to be honest. And that's the whole thing with Sagittarius and Scorpio. They want the truth. They dig deeper for the truth. So if you know you can't handle it, don't keep going forward. And don't keep doing stuff like flirting with the person or making it difficult for the person to forget about you. Because if you're not ready to go that distance, see, that's what Scorpio is, the deep. If you're not ready to go the deep, if you really can't handle that, like a perfect example is like an old timer. And you got this temptation from this young chick. Can you really handle it? Because if you can't, leave it alone. And that's what they're basically telling you. Because if you don't and you try it anyway, Pluto retrograde, Uranus retrograde, they're going to really expose you and make you look a complete idiot. And then remember, I know we're going to see something with Gemini. That's the gossip, the juicy gossip. And that also comes out of Scorpio too. Scorpio does that gossiping. Power struggles and all that stuff. So that's what you're going to get because you should have just really thought it out and walked away. You should have became unbound. Now, I do a lot of readings, and whenever it comes to my so-called soulmate, that devil card comes up a lot. So you give an opportunity to walk away with the devil card. There are chains on you, but you're not bound. You can just take the chain off and walk away. But most people say, no, I want the lust. Oh, no, I want the materialism. Oh, no, I can handle it. Oh, no, no, no. And then when that shit really start, and when that chain go around your neck, and now you can't get out, now it's too late. Now you got to go through whatever it takes. If it's embarrassment, embarrassment. Job loss, job loss. If you're arrested and exposed, because that's a lot of Libra, legal stuff. Even 12th house is arrest and courthouse and jailhouse. And now your name is all in the paper and everybody knows. So that's why this is the time to think and make the right decision. Because whatever situation you make, you'll be somewhat bound to it. Typically. And there might be some exceptions to that conception, but typically you'll be bound to it. Alright. And this is why sometimes when God disciplines his people, he has to start beating them. Because they get so used to the slavery, they don't cry out. And he knows if they don't cry out, they're going to stay in slavery. And it's only going to get worse. So he causes like innocent black people to get shot and all kind of stuff. Because unless they cry out, they're going to be in slavery again. And this is why their oppressors keep them dumbed down. With this stupid ass stuff, stupid ass entertainment, all just silly stuff. And these people are more interested in foolish entertainment than they are about their own freedom. So God has to step in with hard times and oppression and all kind of stuff. Because that's the only way they're going to stand up for themselves. But you might be in a similar situation. Like I said, even like the pity party. Oh, you know, why isn't somebody with me? Or why can't I find a guy who would love me and treat me right and not just want me for sex? And all that, that's still putting yourself in some type of servitude. You're acting like it's not 8 billion. And I used to always say that. Like I said, when I first came out with all of this, I used to think I was right, but I wasn't sure because everybody else is like a groupie. Everybody else will die for love, kill for love. They'll chase their twin flames to the end of the earth. No self-esteem whatsoever. And you see hundreds of thousands of people chasing that whole ideology of a twin flame. But what I'm taught is if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Keep it moving. Because the universe will give you an opportunity to unite with your twin, but you both got to want it. And if either one of you or both of you stay in third dimension and don't want to work it out, then that opportunity will move on. And that's what separation is all about. And the universe might try to bring you back together, but again, until you both want it, because anything you want, you go out and get. That's a fact of life. So anything you're not going out and get is for some reason. There's something holding you back. You don't believe. You're not willing to take that risk and all that stuff that you normally would do for anything you really wanted. You best believe. Because you know how much you said, oh, I'll figure it out when I get there. I really want it. I don't care. I'll figure it out when I get there. Height requirement, I'll put on heels. I'll be like Prince and wear heels. Age requirement, I'll get a fake ID. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way to get up. So you'll find a way to do anything you want. So then when you don't find a way, like Kanye said, it must be a reason why. You find a way to get drugs in the neighborhood. You find a way to become an addict. You find a way to pay that drug dealer, don't you? But yet you couldn't find a way to tell this beast, oh no, I'm not going to be your slave. And if you think how many men, black males, have been pimped out by these men. Literally pimped out like a female. All your rappers, anybody in entertainment, on and on. Even that one guy admitted it. That one guy, Terry, said how he was approached. But that goes on all the time. That's nothing new. Where a guy was straight, 100% straight, and then he goes up into Hollywood and makes a hit record or something like that. Now he's getting bumped up the rear end. But yet he wants to come back out and act like, oh, I'm that bad gangster rapper. Don't mess with me. You wasn't bad when you went up into them offices. So that's why what the man said is not necessarily a lie. The event happened because something of you must have liked it. Or you just didn't want to fight, or whatever your reason, but you're in this situation because you chose to be bound by it. And then other people have died because they would not be bound by it. I think it's the military, somebody that says death before dishonor. So some people are not going for that. Years ago, was a famous rapper that went to Hollywood, went to a famous record company. And when he found out that they told him, okay, we know you got a lot of skill and style. We can do a lot for you. You can make a lot of money. But if you want to work with us, you're going to have to take an oath, sell your soul to the devil, and bend over. And so he came all the way back to Philly and did a video. And he said, listen, he said, in order to be famous, he said, you got to do those 3 things. And he said, I'm going to go independent. I'll do my own. He said, so he made a choice. He didn't do it. And then at the Summer Jam, that rapper, instead of singing about all the self-destructive stuff that the record companies tell you to sing about, he actually he did a rap about Jesus Christ. All right, just give me a moment. I'm doing a couple of things, and then I'll be right back with this. All right. So give me numerology.com, number 11. Alright, number 11 means a person is very intuitive. Number 11 is a master number. So once again, Capricorn, very intuitive, very about business. And remember, it's still going to be about career, because Capricorn rules the 10th house, where Scorpio is. So even dealing with old souls, like old souls especially. See, the ascendant is Capricorn, the 10th house is Mercury. So my Capricorn is in the 8th house. Capricorn rules the 10th house. I said Mercury, I meant Scorpio. So I got Capricorn, career, and Scorpio, the 8th house. So once again, you're looking at any type of Capricorn 8th house. But I said, if you had a list of the 8th house, it's tons and tons and tons. It's almost endless. And now why are they doing this? For great transformation. And then there's Juno. So once again, under that Capricorn energy, a serious relationship is possible. And you notice there's all soulmate stuff because you're dealing with Scorpio. And remember, like I said, business Scorpio can actually mean debt collectors coming to look for you as well. So number 11 is a number associated with faith and physics. So 11 means you had to be focused to a goal. And you have to believe in it. Because you keep hearing the word faith and belief. Because if not, they say you could be extremely unfocused. And see, right now, we don't want that. Because, like, the universe is saying, even if you choose door number A, but you're not focused and you BSing, the universe is still going to put its foot up your ass and expose you. So basically, the universe is saying, hey, listen, all y'all had time to pick whatever you want to do and go with it. But we're walking around, and a lot of you still don't know what sign you're going to imitate, and yada, yada, yada. Therefore, we're going to start to be more aggressive and kind of almost forcing you. Because they basically believe in that. They basically feel like they've been giving you time to get it. But now people haven't really got it. So now they're taking over. And now they're giving you ultimatums. And that's why Saturn is there. Saturn is the heavy. and he's coming with karma. And remember, Saturn could be an employer, or it could be any domineering male influence. All right. So they say you have to understand and use the characteristics of the number 11 properly. Otherwise, you'll sabotage yourself. Associated with the Justice card. All right. All right. And again, so now, yep, they're both 19. So even 11 degrees is basically saying choose wisely, or listen wisely. Approach this from the maturer Capricornian energy, and not just from three girls want to have a sleepover. Oh, in fact, there's four of them. Using the number 4. All right. So now, just to let you know, the number 19 is like a cosmic number. if you go to the Final Call website, or if you just go to a search engine, type in Tanetta Muhammad number 19, and you'll see that's the number that the Final Call, Farrakhan's Nation of Islam always uses. And over here you see a lot of 9s and 6, because when you think of 6-9, you think of Cancer. So it's a lot of alchemy they're playing right now, because Cancer opposes Capricorn. But yet, here where Capricorn is, they got a lot of 9s and 6s to kind of tell you it's still kind of like Cancer energy. All right. So it says mystical number 19. Look at that real quick. So both of these people might want to even play the number during this time, because they're certainly using a lot of numbers to make reference to them. So in numerology, it really starts at number 0, number 1, number 9. Yeah. And then that's it. They go from 0 to 9, and then goes back to 0. That's how numerology works. So again, you're dealing with beginning and endings. But that's what I keep telling you. You're given a choice. You know, we could study this all and be out here forever. Oh, number 11. Oh, number. But the bottom line is saying you're given a choice. Like right now, the universe is giving you a choice that you gotta. That's why Saturn's there. You gotta take it. Because even when you get the angel card reading, Mike will tell you crystal clear thinking and focus on your intent. Because a lot of people don't want to focus. They don't want to be crystal clear and all that. But at this particular time, the universe is saying, listen, the universe is getting ready to go on some very unique places. So you can't be playing games with the universe. All right. So they say 19 is an auspicious number being associated with success and honor. This number is filled with joy and happiness. And again, remember, it's with your Capricorn. Let me do it again. Yeah, Pluto and Capricorn and Juno. So it's almost saying, but I think that's going to definitely be based on a decision. But even the number 11 is also the couple number, because it changes the number 2. So it is possible at this time that you may have couples that actually get along into a more serious, because you got Juno, Saturn, and Capricorn, so it's going to be a more serious relationship. So that whole first house, well, ascendant Capricorn is kind of showing like a more mature decision making, which leads to more mature situation, which can be somewhat serious and transforming. Like the person you meet or the situation you meet. Got Pluto, which is a transformation, right there with Juno, both for 19. And they say the lunar and solar cycles can coincide every 19 years. But it's funny because this is again new moon with the sun and the moon at the same degree in the same house. So number 19 is the number of spiritual activity in Kabbalah. And number 19 is a tarot card sun. Well, definitely looking good. So it's interesting how Scorpio's in Capricorn. And then the ascendant is Capricorn and Aries. And Aries used to rule Scorpio. Well, Mars used to rule Scorpio, but now they say Mars rules Aries. So it's really implying something can really go good depending on the decision they make. And remember, the medium Coeli always connects to the true north node. Now, when you look at the true north node at the chart on the left, there it is. Virgo, true north node, Saturn. So again, it's some type of work or daily activity. And her medium Coeli on the left is in Capricorn, 10th house. So if she makes the right decision, she's going to be kind of with this person, and that person may play a role in healing for both of them. You know, you see Saturn and Capricorn, it could be some type of leader, some type of employer. Could even be a religious or some type of spiritual type leader. Somebody might have a guru, and now they get into a relationship or something. And whatever happens, you see Juno right there pushing. Juno's pushing Libra and Scorpio. And it is almost like a 90 degree. And I know they call that something. All right. All right, give me one moment because they're taking me a lot of locations. All right. All right. All right. Now we're finally getting somewhere. Now we got it. Now we got it. All right. Now let me do this. Hurry up. All right. So it's a square. Yep. Aries rules the first house. So there's gonna be some radical change. Like you can see it. It's almost like two people might connect that you never thought would connect, and they connect in such a way. On the outlook, it looks like damn, they've been together forever. But it comes out of nowhere with Uranus energy, or two people might get serious just to all of a sudden, because all this shit is about relations. Libra, Scorpio, 10th house, and all that. And it could be people on the job. Like I said, it could be type of person you just with somebody and they tend to give you money and all that. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, you just say, you know what? Fuck it, I'd rather have security. But so far, Gemini been knocked out the box. You ain't even seen Gemini yet. It's almost like, you know what? Because remember, both Cancer, which is 6-9, and where Capricorn is, you see them sixes and you see those nines. Right? And Cancer and Capricorn are both about security. Capricorn want to see that paper. Capricorn want to see that job. Capricorn want to see bottom line. Whatever's going to show me I'm getting this paper to security, we can talk. Cancer want that nurturing. Oh, I need security. Hug me. Make me feel secure. Nurture me. But you got both of them there. It's just in the numerology with the 6-9, and then Pluto's real transforming. Pluto's like when that motherfucker, like when a dude got something good, or a female got something good, and they're losing it. And all of a sudden, 15, 20 years, they was just an asshole. And a person finally gets sick of it. The other person finally gets sick of it. And now this motherfucker changed in 3 or 4 months when he was refused to change in like 16, 20 years. That's that Pluto transformation, that shakeup. And Uranus retrograde out of nowhere. Bam. And like I said, this is crazy because I remember working a job, and I'll never forget this. I worked with 2 Italian females, and we was all in our 20s at that time, or in that area. And I mean, they were the one female was just built. She had like an unbelievable like body, and her sister was good looking too. They were both good looking, but the one sister was the older sister was like unbelievably like Amazonian built. But I remember the younger sister in her 20s, really good looking and everything. And she is mad at this man that worked there, this older man that worked there. And I remember her saying, if he touches me again, blah, 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 he better not put his hands on me again. Boom, boom, boom. If he touches me one more time, blah, 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 blah. And she was going off. And the funny thing is the dude happened to be a manager. So, I don't know what transpired between her. Really, it sounded like she wanted to file charges. If he touches me again, blah, he better not put his hands on me no more. If he touches me again, blah, 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 blah. And I just remember being on the floor, whether it was that same night or 2 nights later, or what was on he was on the telemarketing floor. And I remember the phone call, the phone system was working kind of slow, and people started BSing. And I remember that same manager sitting in the chair and saying, I need a back rub. That same female went up to him and started rubbing them all on his shoulders and shit like that. Now keep in mind, first off, my boss, I just got finished doing a video about my boss, was a Jew. He didn't play. He'd run through there, he'd lose his fucking mind. Everybody knew you better get that man his money. He watched everything through glass. He had no walls. He had a glass room. He watched the floor. When he was in his Mercedes Benz, he listened to everybody's call. And you could see him listening. And he could send you a text. Don't say that. Put a little energy in your voice. Blah, blah, blah. And if something was wrong, one time they were trying to do construction in that professional building, because we was in a professional complex, professional building. They were trying to do construction and it was too loud, which he felt was fucking up the phone calls. That man went running out that building on them dudes, like, shut it down now. Like he was a nut job. Better not separate him from his money. So, all of that was Uranus or even a Pluto retrograde. And even if this Pluto ain't retrograde here, the effect is still what I'm telling you. Just because of the arrangement. Which is why I'm going to get back to the square. So first, so for the phones not to be ringing that much, that was Uranus retrograde, or something coming out of nowhere. Then by him feeling comfortable enough to do that. Now this is on the sales floor. That's getting a little too comfortable. Then by him saying that, that's kind of really inappropriate on the sales floor. And then to see the same female, which a day or two earlier was implying that he was like I forget what you call that. But you could call that sexual harassment. Inappropriate sexual contact. Any form of touching, it's not, whatever is wrong in a professional environment. But she's the one that said all that stuff, and then she's the one that goes and starts rubbing him. So even if she tried to get a court case, they would be like, but all he did was sit down and say, I need a back rub. And she just went over and started rubbing his back and shit. So I seen that shit. I was like, whoa. You know, that changed my whole concept on a whole lot of shit. Whether that was some money thing going on between him and her or whatever it was. But she went from almost sound like she was about to pick up the phone and have him arrested on charges to being his little whatever. And I was about to say, and his sister was a hoe too, but I decided not to. So that's what this environment is right now. It could be anything. Remember, Venus retrograde is always about looking back and going back. And right now it's still in Libra. And with the 9th house, which is still messing with the Sagittarius energy, where you see Mercury there with communications. And remember, Capricorn, they're being tricky with you. But Capricorn is really in the 12th house. But because they're playing with the ascendant, trying to make it like the 1st house, and the EP really is just getting into the 1st house. So they're really manipulating the universe right now. Because I know I changed my thinking on a lot of things. I went to bed thinking one thing and woke up, I felt totally different. Like maybe I will give this a try. And only just being home on a weekend, I'm saying, nah, I don't think I want to try that. I don't know. I don't think so. So now the square, the 90-degree angle, the right angle. It's a challenging or aspect. Challenging, but doesn't mean it won't work. Just challenging. Because that's what that was. Challenging. Oh, she's about to rat you out. But it still worked in his favor. Because obviously them two had something going on that was far deeper than telemarketing. And I saw that. When it must have been very powerful for me to still be talking about it all these years later. And it's not like he looked at her and said, hey, I need it. He just sat down in the chair when I needed it. And she went right on over there. So again, it's challenging, but he won. A square is more influential when the transiting planet, outer planet, makes an aspect to a natal inner planet. So you have to know the planets and then get the charts and then compare that. So that's kind of what you're looking at. And that's going to superride or greatly influence everything on both of these charts. Somehow Scorpio has a chance. Where your Scorpio is, there's some type of decision that's got to be made. And both of these charts got Uranus right there. So something's going to really kind of push that decision. And again, they don't know what it is. A lot of times with astrology, you got to really stay up on it. That's why you see me doing my readings and stuff like that. Because a lot of times things will happen and we may not really catch it. But it did happen. We just have to analyze ourselves. And that's why a lot of times that's why people get readings. Like confirmation readings and clarification readings. But this is showing you some type of shakeup that is going to either pull somebody away, pull somebody in another thought process, another direction, another person, or actually bring them back together. Even though maybe earlier you would say, nah, it's over with that person. Like when you see two people that take each other through hell, and then all of a sudden now they tying a knot. Huh? Tying a knot? What? Didn't she just throw a chair at him 2 nights ago? What the fuck? All they do is talk about each other. They've cheated on each other like 7 times that I can count. And stuff I don't even know about. What the tying a knot? Did somebody bump their head? What the hell? But that's that Uranus retrograde and that Pluto. And you see Uranus retrograde is right there with Aries and all that. And then you got Taurus right there. And then this person is a Taurus with Mars. And I just said Mars rules Aries. So this is shake-up time. One way or another. And if I didn't say the sign, then I'm not particularly talking about the sign in this shake-up. I made sure I said the signs that I'm talking about. Because this is what this is about. Now, maybe our previous readings was about your house and what's in your house and what planet is in your house. But this is a shake-up. Meaning this is the Trump right here. And keep an eye on him because he would be your Saturn in Capricorn. This is the Trump right here. Don't give a fuck what you talking about. That's like when North Korea was like, yeah, we're going to bomb America. Donald Trump, we're not afraid of you. Blah, 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 blah. But when he got ready to bomb it, no, Kim Jong said, sing a new, oh, I want to be a Catholic. Let's be friends. Oh, kumbaya. South Korea, I love you. Oh, my daughter, I send my daughter. We be friends. We hold hands together. We love each other so much now. What the fuck? Didn't he just say he was going to bomb America? What the That's this type of shit. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. So that's what you're looking at. Neptune and Pisces, same thing, dreams. Right now, it's all about relationships and finance. And that's why you got Jupiter right there. A lot of times when you're dealing with twin flames and soulmates, if you just start to give your twin flame or soulmate some attention, Jupiter starts blessing you with money. And I did a lot of reading because I'm in a soulmate situation right now. I was going on YouTube doing all kind of listening to other people give readings, and just because that's how I learn. And they were all saying, you know what, those two really love each other. So that's your Venus and Jupiter. That's your Venus and Libra. Those two really love each other. Oh, if they could just get past this separation, if they could get past this lack of trust, oh, if they only communicated more. And that's Mercury. Oh, if one would stop being afraid and give it a chance. That's your 12th house, but also with Scorpio, because that deals with subconscious things that are hidden in fear. All this is being brought to light with Jupiter and Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is always diving for the truth, and Jupiter's going to expand it and give you good fortune. And then the Sun and Scorpio, which says, let's shine a light on this situation. So all it takes is one person to say, hey, can we talk? Or, hey, and it takes another person and that melt a little bit. Like, yeah. So it's that type of vibration. This is the Trump. This is the Trump transit. Again, wherever your Scorpio is, anything hidden or you're afraid or unknown or stuff you don't want to deal with, the Sun is going to shine a light on it. Where Sagittarius is, calling for some type of communication. Since both of their Sagittarius have Neptune. And that's about money. Neptune, Pisces, money. Money, possessions, value system, inspirational. Pisces is going to take you, Neptune and Pisces is going to take you right back to that 12th house. Right back to Sagittarius. So this is some far-reaching effects with Sagittarius. Inspiration, truth, just far, and it could even be in-laws. Now my mother, she's turning into an old lady, so I know a lot of times she tends to call me by my cousin's name. He's older than me. He used to live here because my mother raised him and his brother and sister. They're no longer alive. He's a sole survivor. But now he kind of you know, his wife died, so he's messing up his life now. But he's an older guy, so I guess she's a little subconsciously, or however you want to look at this, because we just got finished talking about the 8th house, the 12th house. That's all subconscious. Subconsciously, she's kind of looking at him different. So now I know that she's not calling me by his name no more. Because I mean, it's just human nature. This is why you can't let your parents get to you or nothing like that. Because she's always calling me by his name. And like, I mean, to her, she may think that that's her son, but that's not her son. That's your nephew. But she'll say that. She'll keep calling me his name for whatever reason. But now that she's older, and the guy she used to kick around, moi, now I'm the main one looking out for her. So now she's kind of getting my name better correct. But now she's calling my daughter's son by my name. And that was my celebration bell that I finally got my mama. No, that just happened to be a coincidence because I'm washing clothes. That's right, I'm very in touch with my feminine side. But I'm strictly heterosexual. Alright. So the bottom line I'm trying to make is, number one, don't let people play mind games with you, because that's what they do. Fathers do the same thing too. I can't just blame women for that one. But it's like a mind game. You got to have confidence in yourself. So when they try that crap, you don't fall for it. And again, she's such a smart, but everybody she put ahead of me is either dead, or now she don't want to really acknowledge him because the guy's drinking his life away. So now she's more in tune to acknowledge me because I'm always there. I'm the one making sure she's healthy and all that stuff. But so is life. But you forgive people because nobody's perfect. And you can move on. I had to add that because some of these people coming back together, they really want it out. They want it gone. But that's also life too. Life is not going to be perfect. That's why when I teach a certain way, you always have to remember it is a teaching. You have to learn how to apply it best to your ability. You don't just listen to one of my videos and go, that's it. I'm not going to, no more. I'm not going to take it anymore. Because I'm sure I got other videos that I might have said, hey, you know, you still got to wait. Because I know many times where I worked at, I would have loved to have just walked off. Because it was just really bad. But the truth of the matter was, it was a lot of bad stuff with me. My health was bad. Everything was breaking down. There was a lot of stuff going on. It led to that as well. But working out, everything keeps getting better. And hopefully, the money that corporation owes me, I'll have at some point. So that's your Sagittarius. And Capricorn on both of these charts seem to really be dealing with career. Maybe not hers. Let me see again. Well, hers is in Sagittarius too. But see, I keep telling you, medium Coeli is also your true north node. And ironically, her medium Coeli connects her right back to her true north node, which is Sagittarius, which is still going to be up. And I believe that is the 7th house. Yep. So it's all about relationships and careers. So, however that works out. And it's your life purpose as well. Because remember, your career is usually in your 10th house. And that medium Coeli always connects back to your true north node. So it's all about work and daily activity and home. And like I said, all depending on what you do, but your career might involve houses or whatever. And you got to understand what a house is. It's not just a home. It could be a hotel, motel. It could be anywhere. If that's where you're getting money from, that's really a career. However you look at it. Like I said, you might be a chick that's 19. In fact, I knew a chick like that a long time ago. You might be 19 and 20. You go on a chat room, flash your picture, blah blah blah. And this is the true story. This chick, I knew how I met her. I just was online bullshitting. One day I was supposed not this chat. This is a while ago. This is 2003. So it probably was telemarketing. Wherever I was, I didn't go to work that day or something. I just happened to be online, and I was in a chat room, and I came across her. I was like, oh shit, she's fine and shit. And I went to her. She hit like In her little description box of her profile, gave her website. I went on her website and she said, my name is so-and-so, and I'm from Cali. She was like, come holler at me. I'll be on the corner or whatever. And this was something young. She like 19, but she was like unbelievably beautiful. I said, oh, she said, she like saying, if you come by on this corner, that's where I'll be at and shit. I said, what the fuck? I said, did she really say that and shit? And then I called her and shit, and she was really like about that. But that's what she would do, and that's how she made her money. So her career or her home, even she said, in the alleyway. Even she said that. Like, yeah, I be out there in the alleyway. That's how I get my money. Or somebody would just pull up in a car. She get a jump in the car or whatever. Whatever they do, don't even get no room. So that's what she was about. Very unique person. But she had a funny ass sense of humor and shit. But she just looked at the world. She had a very unique look at the world or whatever. Why? I don't know. I don't know her that well. I never got to know her that well. But she was a friend of mine, to keep it 100. And so that's what this chart is showing you. Just a whole lot of stuff. Aquarius, Mars, and Aquarius. Just whatever I said about Aries or Scorpio, it's going to play a role on that. But you see Lilith right there, retrograde. So once again, they already told you, and both of them is at 25 degrees. I can't believe this shit. I really can't believe this shit. Like, this whole chart is primarily numerology. It has nothing. This is a trump. It's like when you're winning a card game and that son of a bitch pulls out the trump and takes everything from you and you're pissed off. That's what this reading is like. This is what the placements in the universe is. All right. Wow. Oh yeah. All right. So 19 is a sun card. Everything looking better. 19 in Islam is Wahid, which is the name for God, but it means one. So again, they're really getting along. Just like you say, Juno right there. Like they just somehow just let it go. Just like her. If I had came up to her and say, hey, listen, just 2 days ago you said if he touches you again, they would have looked at me like, why don't you mind your business? And he would have hated me. She would have hated me. Like, mind your fucking business. I say, but you just 2 days. I am minding my business. 2 days ago you said this. But they don't care about 2 days ago. Whatever happened. Whatever happened or what nobody saw but him and her. She knows what happened because she went back to being whatever he was. Whatever she was before. And the only reason why he was putting his hands on her because she gave him the okay. And I guess maybe the money didn't come fast enough or whatever the fuck happened between them two. And now he's terrible and blah, blah, blah. But now the money's back in play and now she's back to doing what she does. So that's what you're looking at. And with those 19s. 19 angels guard hell in Islam at the Quran 74:30. Anniversary of marriage is 19 years is bronze. The number 19 is the atomic number of potassium, K. Make sure you're getting your potassium. Make sure you got that because it can really mess you up if you don't. I get mine from mashed potatoes usually. $2,500 years ago, they came up with the game of Go based on the number 19. It's perfect for history lovers who enjoy board games. 19th President of the United States was Rutherford Bichard Haynes. But he won the election it was a controversy. Some say he won by fraud. But the first telephone was installed in the White House during his presidency. So that's your Mercury, the Gemini stuff. The first typewriter ride at the White House during his term. All this is Mercury stuff. So I guarantee if I had his chart, if I had the correct time he was born, all that, the correct chart, because I can get the time he was born by the angels. But I still need the correct info. Because people be saying, oh, this is Tupac. He was born blah, blah, blah. But you don't know if that's just what they gave you. You don't know when. You got to make sure that's correct. Haynes and his wife were deeply religious. Liquor, dances, and games were banned from the White House during his presidency. He was a Republican. And remember, old school Republicans are not what Republicans are now. His wife, Lucy, again, they go Lucy, a short name for Lucifer. Lucy is also the name of the first body ever found on planet Earth. It's in Africa somewhere. And his wife was the first woman to be called First Lady. And they called her Lemonade Lucy because she banned alcohol from the White House. Isn't that funny? There should be no alcohol in the White House while I'm First Lady. They say, well, First Lady, the Queen in French, what was her name? Nanette, Monanette, or whatever her name was. She told us to eat cake. What will you tell us? There will be no alcohol in the White House while I'm First Lady. You should drink lemonade. Oh, can I open up a stand too out on the White House lawn? Help pay for some of these taxes. Okay, the 19th state of the United States is Indiana. Are you serious? Are you serious? The home of Pastor Paul Bagley. Became the 19th state of the U.S. in 1860. Did you know that in Indiana there's a town called Santa Claus? 2 years, 2 years. That's for you old schoolers that used to watch the Flintstones. A little town called Bedrock. 2 years, 2 years. It's the only postal address in the world that officially bears this name. We suspect they receive lots of mail close to Christmas. Number 19 is a number associated with Kuan Yin, the Chinese goddess of mercy. Woo! She is the most popular goddess in Asia. And isn't that what happens when you take back somebody who you didn't want nothing to do with? That's a form of mercy. Or you didn't want to be in a relationship with them no more, but you take them back. That's a form of mercy. But even like them taking you back, that's a form of mercy. So the majority of the homes in the Southeast Asia have a picture or statue of Goddess Kuan Yin. Her birthday is on the 19th of the second Chinese month. She became a Buddha on the 19th day of the sixth Chinese month. Oh, a goddess becomes a Buddha. That's so beautiful. And she received her sacred pearls on the 19th of the 9th Chinese month. I got mine. I got my little thing. And she has hers on. Maybe we can say Hail Mary together. Number 19 in the Baha'i Faith. I know you guys say I know a lot of people, but one of my favorite girlfriends was Baha'i Faith. And she went missing, and I tracked her down. I was writing everybody. And they finally found her, and she called me and shit. That was my baby. But we had a horrible relationship, because I was still thugging back then. And she got shot up on her birthday. No lie. Now, I ain't had nothing to do. That's what I don't know nobody in Chicago. But I think that's her ex-boyfriend. Shot her up on her birthday. Made her a cripple. Now, this is a true story. But I was still calling her. And she had a girlfriend. So I would be talking to her girlfriend. She'd be laying on the bed. But she couldn't really quit. She was crippled and shit. This is a true story. Everything I'm telling you is a true story. And so then one day, like two things. This is a true story. I'm going to tell you two things. Now when Talia, because my friend Talia, now this is how you know I'm telling you the truth. This is how you know I'm not lying. Talia was in the Guinness Book of Records, came on TV. At one time in her life, in the early 2000s, if you used to watch the Guinness Book of Records when it came on TV, in the early 2000s, there was a female, a real light-skinned female, that came on TV. And she had the world's largest tumor, or world's largest cancer, or something. That's my best friend Talia. See, we be fighting the devil. And when Talia was on her deathbed, they was asking her, what can we do to make you feel better? And she was asking for me. And that was Talia. Now Talia and my other female, the one I'm just going to call her Jazzy, the one that got shot up, same thing. They was about the same. I think they was around the same age. I forget. It's been a long time. Talia might have been a little older than Jazzy, but I forget. And they both could sing too. Talia, she had an angelic voice. Now, when Jazzy was on her deathbed because she got shot up, they asked her what could they asked her what could they do to make her feel better, and she asked for me too. And so the whole time I'm talking to Jazzy's girlfriend, and but she would be there looking at, like, they'd be in a room because she was like watching her and shit. They were best friends. And then we were talking about her, and then her girlfriend says to me, yeah, she's laying there right now, and she's laying there with this, she's hugging this bear, and that was the bear I brought her, a stuffed animal. There's no lie. And then she said, and she wants to talk to you and stuff. And so this is a female that got crippled from getting shot up. She actually fought her way out of that bed and asked me, could we go back to being together again and shit. Why I love my life? Because my life is so real. I wouldn't change my life for nothing, because I've been through everything. But one thing I was never no fake ass phony fraud. And that's more important to me than anything. And the reason why I get so far in this life, because people respect that. Even people that don't like me, they gotta respect that. That dude, he's a real dude. Number 19 is an important number in the Baha'i faith. The calendar has 19 months. Each of the 19 months consists of 19 days. They have a 19-year cycle. The super cycle is 19 times 19, 361 years. So what they're trying to tell you is this number 19 will have an effect of these unions coming together. It may have a spiritual effect. Not necessarily, but that's the implication. Every 19 days, the people in the Baha'i faith come together for what they call a feast. There's 19 apostles of the Baha'i faith. On March 19th, 1931, Nevada legalized gambling. March 19th is also the feast day of St. Joseph, husband of Mary, mother of Jesus. He is patron saint of carpenters, immigrants, fathers, workers, and peaceful, happy death. November 19th is International Men's Day. All right. Give me a moment, because now I want to do that 25. They took me right to the chariot, which we will look at. Just give me a second. Come on. Give me a second. Because I'm going to try to do something. So like I said, this may be a good time to play the lotto or whatever. You find out what these numbers are on your chart. You might want to play them. If you got any secret favorite numbers and stuff, you might want to play them. If you got any juicy gossip, you might want to play them. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but They're really going on number 25. Metaphysicalconcepts.com. They are really, it's unbelievable. A lot of websites on the number 25. This is how you know this is. I've never seen a website that said metaphysical when it was talking about numerology. And y'all know I'm a numerology freak. And I'm a metaphysical freak. How come now I'm finding a website? This is some crazy shit. This is really unbelievable. Alright. I'm putting this on pause. I'll be back. Alright, now we're going into this 25. Believe me, I did not expect this chart to be like this. See, a lot of these people are on my number 25, but then when you get this, it's just a commercial and shit. And I don't got time for that. I don't like liars. I don't like that. I don't like false advertisements. It makes me angry. How many of you guys are old time that you remember Billy Jack, the white Indian? That was helping the Indians and the black people. Whenever someone lies to me, it makes me angry. And I just want to, then kick somebody in the face. Start beating up like 10 or 20 guys. One man beating up like 20 people. All right, now we want to see what this 25 is at. It's two of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, with Lilith retrograde. And this is all feminine. Thanks to Dr. Stanley. Dr. Stanley says primarily whenever you see Mars in Aries, you're dealing with a feminine aspect. So again, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Remember I said this is kind of like about security? And this is in the second house of money. But somehow they're doing something with it. They're trying to make it they're trying to spiritualize it. Because you got the whole Neptune, Pisces, and you got the 12th house. So for some reason, they're trying to spiritualize it. And when you're dealing with the second house, you're still going to be dealing with Taurus. Because as you notice, Taurus is opposite Libra. And if you notice, her sun sign is Taurus. And then over here, her ascendant is Taurus. But it's almost like they're trying to do something that's going to spiritualize the situation. And that's why you got the 25, because 2 and 5 is 7, which is that spiritual number. And remember, Neptune, planet Neptune has always been connected to the number 7. So this is deep. Number 7 stands in what? Symbolism for the planet 7 and represents all persons born under the 7, naming those who are born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th of any month. So the radical number 7 is Neptune or Ketu. Ketu in Hindu. Neptune is the lord of radical number 7. This is called Vekran in Indian astrology. Number 7 is a radical number of the people born on 7, 16, or 25th. So they tell you it's going to be a radical change. And like I said, in my family, we got people dying on the 25th and being born on the 25th. But that's that whole, like I said, 8th house, or 8th house stuff. So that's basically what you're getting out of this number, because they say birthday number 725, but still, whether it's birthday or not. See, it's somebody with a 25. Now listen to where I'm getting this from. I'm getting this from theastrology.com. Birthday number 25, but don't worry about a birthday number. It's number 25. Sexually, they are attracted, because whenever you're dealing with Scorpio, Taurus, even Lilith stuff, you're dealing with sex. Because some women get turned on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She went from saying, he better never touch me again. I'm only 20. I'm only 22. He's an old man. Why is he touching? He better never touch. Whoa, how much? How much? Thank you, Daddy. Well, I need somebody to give me a massage. And she jumped up and went over there and shit. Alright, so sexually they're attracted to that cash flow. And that's why I said it's sex. But I just got finished telling you about the priestess. She could be a homebody or home type priestess, but she can also be a very sexual priestess. And when you're dealing with Scorpio and Taurus, this is what you're dealing with. When you're dealing with the second house and the eighth house of the zodiac, this is what you're dealing with. So that number 25 is sexually, they represent a quite strange combination. They are attracted to those who are wealthy, but they have a strong tendency to romance, which makes them idolize their objections of adoration. See, but Neptune causes you to idolize. Neptune causes you to idolize. So this is what you got going on. I remember Starsky and Hutch way back in the day. And it was two dudes, they was crooks, they was robbers or something. And they had this female with them. So one of them dudes beat her up. So she was crying and stuff, and she was like, I'm gonna rat you out, I'm gonna call the police and shit, and tell them that y'all the one robbing everybody and shit. So he went up to her, he said he was talking to her and stuff, and he said, listen, we got this money. We want you to stay with us. Don't make no phone calls, don't call nobody. Here goes some money, and blah blah blah. And then he gave her the money, and then she just forgot. She of course she didn't forget about it, but she stopped talking about it and just took the money and stayed with him and stuff. Now I'm not saying that's every woman, I'm not saying that's how you deal with women, but I'm saying these are all cases, whether on TV or real life stuff I've seen, where what this chart is saying. And again, I didn't expect this today. I expect just to do a quick reading and get out of here, because this is supposed to be a busy day for me. I didn't expect to be doing all this numerology and all this stuff. But basically, when you see the number 25, they say number 25 is a romantic materialistic. And again, this is VA Astrology. VE. VEastrology.com, birthday number 25. So in order to get that sex with that number, you better have some cash flow to go with it. And I know a little baby that was born on the 25th, and that's how she was. If I came walking by her, she saw some money in my hand, she grabbed it. Grab it out of my hand. And one time I had some paper, and she grabbed it to try to look at it. Because she's still like a little baby. I don't even think she was 1 year old yet. She grabbed it to see what it was and stuff. Then when she saw it was in that green and white. And then one time she got busted. Her mother caught her. Because there was some credit cards. And she took it. She was trying to walk out. And her mother said, where you going with them credit cards? Put them credit cards down. Ha ha. I said, this chick is about that money. And then recently she called me. Now she a teenager. Recently I gave them some money and she called me. The other one didn't call me for whatever reason. And then she called me. He's like, thank you for the money and shit. And that's that number 25. So they can be found aloof and critical of others. But again, that's Neptune, aloof and critical. Little Virgo there. But they have wonderful minds, excellent researchers. That's the whole Scorpio going deep. Virgo can research. And they like to research and come to their own conclusions. And this is called Lucky Name Numerology. This is Numerology.com. Number 25 prepares to work alone and blah, blah, blah. You're very sensitive and feel deeply. Again, this is that whole Neptune, Pisces, Infat. But again, the overall natal chart is not saying that this person likes to work alone. But they do think a lot. They do, if I say the word conspire, you're going to think doesn't necessarily mean they conspire, but you best believe they are seeing how they're going to get that money. That's why she jumped on it. When he said, I need a back massage, she jumped on it. Because he had just hit off with all that money, and she's going to try to get some more. And that was more important than her saying, he better not touch me again, and blah, 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 he's too old for me, and all of a sudden that didn't matter, and she did it in front of witnesses. So whatever he gave her was enough for her to say, fuck that. None of these other bitches better touch him. That's my bread ticket. That's my bread ticket. You keep your fucking hands off him. I got this old man. Number 25. Once again, here go the spirituals part. This is writingthebeast.com. Number 25 can represent the universal word of God. Number 25 can represent the law, like the law given to Moses. It can be the double world of spirit and matter. But that's what I've been telling you. It's almost like they're toying with you. This person's finding out a way to be spiritual, but still be materialistic. But then again, if you think about, so is every big guy, Copeland, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Joel Osteen, Benny Hinn, you name it. They found a way to be Joyce Myers, all of them. Rest in peace, but we got to say it. The forefathers of it. TBN, I forget their names, or somebody won't let me say them. Jan, and the husband, rest in peace. Crouch, I believe. Was it Crouch? Paul and Jan Crouch, rest in peace. $25 is connected to the temple in the Bible. $25 signs of the cross. 3 signs on offering, 5 signs preparing the transubstantiation, 1 blessing on the bread, 1 blessing on the wine, 15 signs for the remainder of prayers recited. The 3 Magi priests traveled 25 days to find the baby Jesus, and on and on and on. The essence of 25 is intuitive, curious, and they think things through. They say it again, 25 can be an introspective. But I would ask this person, if that's true about you, why are you introspective? Sometimes women don't understand. You may not feel close to a man, but have you ever allowed yourself to be close? Have you ever allowed yourself to be vulnerable so that he can get in? Because that's kind of the problem I had with this person. It was early though, but as soon as I saw it, I just backed up. But I got, that was something I got pushed into by the universe. Because I just wasn't on that level. To be totally honest, it wasn't like me saying I don't want nobody. It was just that at that particular point, I wasn't on that level. That was something the universe pushed me into. and they were big up in her, saying she's the chosen one. So now I'm curious, because I'm a lion, I'm a cat, so we're gonna be curious. Plus, I'm an investigator, so we're gonna be curious. Okay, how are you the chosen one? So I kind of was looking to see how she was the chosen one, and at that particular moment in time, it wasn't a whole lot there. Just somebody, probably playing hard to get, which is it's nothing wrong with it. But I've been hurt before, so I didn't want no part of it. I didn't want no part of nobody playing hard to get, and I wasn't gonna sit there because I got other things on my plate. See, me, if I really was to get in a relationship, it would be when I got older. I mean, because I'm still like I still outwork the people at my job for the most, and they're all like in their 20s and stuff, and I still outwork them because they were complaining about their back hurting, all that shit. I'd be laughing. We be working and they just lay out and say, that's it, I can't do no more. And I'm getting to the point I do a lot of that stuff by myself. So I'm not ready to just stop yet. Because I don't have time to just, I don't have time to pamper somebody. Like if somebody they would have to keep up because I'm not going to stop. And I've already did all that dating stuff and all that. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. So it's not that she did anything wrong to soulmate. It's just that my mindset was not nowhere near that. And plus, I just don't like the idea of them keep pushing people on me. I mean, but it'd be crazy stuff. It don't be like somebody who really wants a relationship. It'd be people that want to play hard to get and take you through hell and shit. And I'm like, oh no, I don't have time for that right now. It's like I've been on this planet for decades, so I'm full of crazy nut jobs, okay? Give me 1 second. Because I dedicated a video to somebody today and they just sent me an email. So I'm going to let them know this email is getting ready to come. You ain't heard nothing yet. Alright, give me a second. See, I love what I do. It fulfills me. It's not like a female would have to really be real to even get my attention. But I don't got time for all that playing hard to get and all that silly shit. Because it would take up too much silly time. And no matter how much time you get this person, they're gonna keep doing that stupid shit. I don't have time for that, bro. I love my life. I wouldn't want to lose a half of a second of my life. I love my life. I don't have time for that silly shit. And there's no disrespect because that's third dimensional. Like, I'm not blaming the female. I'm just not into that shit. You have to be ready to move because you dealing with somebody be all over. I'm like when they be talking about angels can fly from one way to another way and zigzag and all. I'm like that. I'm a king of multitasking. My ascendant is Gemini. I'm always moving. I just don't have time for just silly shit. You mad? You don't even know why you mad. Somebody's trying to talk to you. You don't even want to talk to them. But yet it's their fault because you say they don't understand you. That's why I asked that question. You can't be mad at somebody if you know. It's just somebody, well, he should know. Okay, maybe he should, but maybe he's not psychic. Maybe he should know, but maybe he's not psychic. So you gotta give something back. If you want your relationship to go deeper than just the material stuff or the one level, you have to invest. You have to give back, and you have to allow yourself. You might get hurt, but you have to give it that chance because he might not hurt you. Because until you open up, he can't open up. And like I said, had this soulmate just did that, I would have melted. But she didn't take any efforts to do anything until she realized she was losing me. Then all of a sudden she started coming. And I seen that so many times I just wasn't turned on by it. I'm like, oh, this is what I gotta do to get you to respond. This is so childish, I don't have time for it. But I still like her. I like her a lot. But it's just one of them things. But right now, under this environment, who knows? Next time I see her, she might be a totally different person. Because the way it is right now, I'm not really supposed to see her until this Thursday. But, sometimes she has popped up before, and sometimes she changes the schedule. So I might see her before. Who knows? But anyway, let me do this. Let me finish writing this email. So my advice to any female, if you're looking for some guy to hate you a certain way as far as love or all that, or really know you, you do have to open up a little bit. Give him something to work with. Because you can't really blame the guy if you've never opened up and he's trying to figure out and you've never opened up. But you feel like, well, he doesn't know this about me. He's never asked me about that. Sometimes you got to open up a little bit. Do you make eye contact with him when you talk? It's just stuff. Because y'all women have so much power, but in third dimensional, it says y'all usually use it wrongly and shit for some reason. But you should learn how to use your power. Like, if I'm a woman, I'm going to make my man strong. Because the more he's stronger he is, the more money he's bringing home to me. You know, it's just common sense. I'm not gonna break them down. Some women love to destroy men and all that. Like, it's just stupid. You're kind of hurting yourself as well. So it's a lot of silly stuff that people do in third dimension. And I'm not saying that's the case in any of these readings right now, but it's just stuff I've seen. So this person can be very scientific. Again, that's definitely a trait of Scorpio. But they say 25 is still spiritual, even though it's materialistic as well. And they try to accumulate wisdom. And again, even like somebody like me, wisdom, but also 8th house stuff. 8th house science, cards, astrology. So they say 25 can be quiet, but it can also be teamwork, companionship, diplomacy, the spirit of cooperation. "25 is the heart's desire. 25 is a verb. Well, let's go on if. And then they encourage you to do number 2, meaning, number 5, meaning, and number 7, meaning. And that was very, very interesting. Very interesting. So number 5, wisdom, touch of diplomacy and curiosity. This is the secret of the tarot.com. So number 25 likes to analyze on their own, use their own wisdom, their own ability and wit, and their own unique perception to communicate or compare, and they try to come to their own conclusion. Number 7 is the essence of number 25. Number 2 and 5 in sensitivity and sensuality to it. "25 tribes help build the Tower of Babel." Throughout the Gospel, first 4 books of the Bible, the Holy Spirit is quoted 25 times. In the Gospel of John, Jesus began 25 of his exclamations with the words, "In all truth." John the Baptist and Judas Iscariot were both 25 years old when they were called to the apostolate. The Pope traditionally opens the Golden Gate every 25 years. Alright, the Tower is what? No. High Priestess. Alright. So back to the charts. So in some ways, it's almost like I'm not saying in every house, but in some ways it's almost like the woman is being pushed by Mars to don't be so internal, to go external. Because Lilith retrograde is internal as well, but she's being pushed by the universe. Because like I said, a lot of times men get a bad rap. Men are not all bad. You know, sometimes women got to stop that bullshit. And as you see, the true north node is still in Leo right now. So I have a few more little things before I can shut up, because I'll no longer be carrying the responsibility to whip all you people into shape. Then you're gonna have Cancer carrying it. So then you have somebody trying to be nurturing and talking to you and stuff. Oh, let's have a workshop. Oh, let's talk. Let's get on chat. Let's get on video chat. We'll find out what's going on. We'll all work together. I'll bake some pie. We'll have some cookies and donuts. Oh, we'll cry and we'll get to the bottom of why. Thanks, Mommy. All right. So there you have it. And Aries is going to be there to communicate. Hey, sweetheart, this is almost divided in half by Uranus. All right, so keep going. Now, when you go to Taurus, whatever I said about the second house has a lot to do with where Taurus is on the space chart. Gemini, whatever I said about the third house has a lot to do with Gemini. And whatever I said about Mercury has a lot to do with Gemini. And Gemini in the fifth house. Cancer. Cancer, we're going right into Scorpio because it's going to be it's going to be basically the motherly energy. Because Cancer, the moon in Cancer is Aimon Coeli, the mother in your subconscious mind. But it's also family, but it's still going to be where that moon is. And I believe that's the sixth house of healing, is it? Yep, so wherever Virgo is, and remember, Virgo's where? See, even Virgo's in the 8th house. So it's going to be a lot of healing. So if Gemini, now if we go back to the past readings for the woman on the right, because even in Gemini it was pretty empty. See, that's the 11th house of just friends. See what Mercury is? Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. But that's really just in the 11th house of just friends. Because sometimes you'll find somebody only because you're trying to get away from somebody else. But it doesn't stand up for whatever reason. All right. Ninth house Sagittarius Libra, which is a good thing, with Jupiter in Sagittarius. Because a lot of people don't realize that there's really a connection between Jupiter and Sagittarius and Libra. And Jupiter and Venus have a connection too. So the reflection of Venus retrograde in the 9th house is going to help Sagittarius with Mercury in the 11th house. And again, it's going to be people talking to their friends about a situation. Their friends are saying, hey, listen, he's not that bad and blah, blah, blah. You should be great. You know, things just change. But it's going to seem like it's suddenly because of Uranus retrograde. But it probably was coming up. And you got Venus retrograde at 26 degrees. And over here, it's the same thing. Her Venus retrograde, the chart on the right, her Venus retrograde is at 26 degrees. And both of them are retrograde. So like I said, this normally I compare the houses, compare the signs and all that. But this chart in the middle trumps everything. It's going down like that, one way or another. Now, Leo, again, let me just count it up. Some type of relationship probably going on, some type of vertex stuff. Now, if you look at the vertex on the left, Libra, which means relationship. Now, if you find a vertex on this right chart, again, Libra again. And then Leo's in the 7th house. So anything could happen. That's your soulmate or a significant event or a fated event. That's why they keep saying destiny and fate, because that's your thing. And if you look at her Leo in the 5th house with both Jupiter and Lilith. So it's probably going to be some type of money coming in her house. And if you find it, the house on the right, seventh house, still got the vertex just like him. Let me do that again. Okay, we'll say the 6th house. But it's still going to be healing. Pluto in the 6th house is going to be about healing and transformation. She got the vertex, so again, it's going to be something powerful. And then it's still a relationship, because Libra is there. So I hope you guys are paying attention. And again, they'll both get the hard copy of this chart in the middle with all the information up top. So that way they'll know that this is the new moon for Wednesday. I guess it's Wednesday, which will occur in less than 3 days. All right. Once again, remember, got all kind of sales going on both these channels, Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, as well as the other channel. Got all kind of sales going on, and we do everything from phone consultation. We do anything, really. We do research for people, and any questions you have, we do answer Also, anything that's considered paranormal or supernatural. We can answer some questions on like human nature, stuff like that. And we do everything with the cards, the angel cards. Alrighty, I'm out.